Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, we're going to talk about the latest twist in the MJF AEW saga.
Yes, the AEW roster are pissed at Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
A couple of top AEW stars have been pulled from this week's Dynamite.
And content warning, Jake Atlas has been arrested on a charge of misdemeanor battery, domestic violence. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Alright, we're going to talk about a guy we talk about all the damn time at the moment, but understandably so.
Yep.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, his best friend, my mortal enemy, I guess, if we're doing a yin and yang type deal. Right, there's, every day there's new information on this topic coming through, but Fightful Select have published a new report going into details. Fightful have been right on the money through all of this, as always. There was a meeting. Tony Khan and MJF have held a meeting, presumably to discuss the issues between the two camps. This was held on Monday in Las Vegas. No word on specifically what might have come out of that meeting as of yet, but I'm sure that will come to light.
I know, but I'm not allowed to tell anyone because he's my best friend, yeah.
Of course. Now, the issue, of course, stems from the contractual situation that MJF, he's not being paid like a top star at the moment. He wants to be paid like a top star.
He deserves to be paid like a top star.
Totally agree, which Tony Khan has reportedly said he's willing to do, by the way. But there had been previous Fightful reports saying that in recent weeks MJF had maybe been a bit reticent to accept those overtures. Now it seems they've had a meeting. It's noted as well that MJF had a feeling that over Double or Nothing week, with him being in contact with Tony so often, that something was going to happen, and it appears some kind of meeting has gone down. Now, the report kind of touches into the idea, look, there are so many wrestling fans who think every single thing that gets out there is a work.
Imagine me like that, eh?
Yeah. But the report touches on that a little bit, talking about how clear the incident did not begin as a work, right? The tension about the contract is very, very real. The majority of the key beats in this story are very, very real. However, there's an acknowledgement here that, certain parts of it could evolve into being worked as the situation develops. Now, that's just good stuff. That's good pro wrestling, isn't it? When real life things become the storyline and nobody's getting hurt, nobody's getting upset or whatever, it makes for some of the most compelling drama.
MJF did an aeroplane impression before his match at Double or Nothing.
And we all popped huge. Obviously, MJF did business at Double or Nothing. He got squashed by Wardlow.
Well, it was pretty close.
10 power bombs or something like
10
that.
10 unanswered power bombs, yeah. When you
Stretchered
say it like that,
out.
Yeah.
Stretchered out of the building. It was like a really old school style write-off. It was what you would do if you were leaving the territory back in the day. You'd put the next guy over as strong as possible. You'd get stretchered out and you would not be seen for another few months. So, yeah, there we go. Meeting between the two parties. I wonder how that went. Do you reckon they brawled? I don't think so, but
it's nice to imagine. And we've got a little Twitter question about this, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But fascinating to see what happens next with this. Like you say, will he be on Dynamite this week? Probably not, for the reasons you gave
I'd hope
there.
he'd sell the beatdown.
If he isn't, he is going to be there in a comedy neck brace that he's borrowed from Smart Mark Sterling.
Yeah, he's going to wear his condom suit. The Mark Sterling's condom suit.
That really sealed in the flavour, didn't it? I'll bet. Oh,
yeah.
Goodness me. Anyway, yeah, look, I'm glad to hear that they seem to be trending towards making amends here, because as much as it'd be fascinating to see MJF in WWE, I think the general consensus appears to be AEW is probably right now at least the best place for him. He is, in my opinion, a world champion in waiting. If you go by Michael Hamlet's possibly quite correct lineage of the AEW title, it goes Punk, Kingston, Maxwell Jacob Friedman in a matter of weeks after poor Eddie wins the title.
I think he should. I agree with Michael. I think Eddie should win it in New York because it's romantic and it would be awesome. And then MJF should beat him the next week.
I love it.
Cruel heartbreak. It's Eddie's speciality. Yeah.
But yes, I'll transition this seamlessly, as I blatantly make it obvious, into my story regarding how the AEW roster feels about MJF. He may be closer to an agreement with Tony Khan, but he may be getting changed in the hallway for a while. If Mike Johnson from PW Insider's update on this situation is to be believed, because at Double or Nothing, we were obviously speculating whether or not he was going to wrestle. He was actually kept in a separate area, so he literally just walked through Gorilla as his music was playing to make his entrance there. But then after the match, he did not stick around for the rest of the pay-per-view. Mike Johnson saying that he worked his match and then left the arena immediately after the strategy job, probably because they put the oxygen mask on his eyes for some reason.
Yeah.
And he left. He was like, oh, God, where's Adam Wilborn? I want to hang out with him. Oh, he's not here. Who's the closest bloke who looks a little bit like him? He's just sort of quite stylish, but
Marco
ginger.
Stunt.
Pat Buck. He left with Pat Buck, former WWE guy, of course, Pat Buck, accompanying him out of the arena. And apparently the locker room are not pleased with MJF and maybe the way he's carried himself throughout this situation. He's angling for a bigger payday, as we've said. It's more sort of translating what's been said here, but I think maybe some people in the back think he's maybe gone about it slightly the wrong way and threatening to, not ruin, but overshadow one of the biggest pay-per-views AEW has a year and bugger up what has been a great story for Wardlow through doing that. Has not endeared him to the guys in the back.
Yeah, I mean, if you're sharing that locker room with him and if you don't know if he's going to show up until he actually passes by you on his way to the ring and then he goes, like, I can see why that would annoy, like, wrestlers and other people involved in it. I absolutely understand that point of view.
And there is a bit of a tradition of, like, sticking around throughout the whole show, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell them they're wrong or they're right or whatever. I get it, man. I totally get it. We say this all the time. If it's a question of a dispute between a billionaire and a worker, 99 times out of 100 we're with the worker, and it's no different here. I hope MJF gets a nice big pay deal and
payday. Yeah.
Yep, there you go. That word. I hope he gets what his talents deserve. Coming out of this, and I'm not going to judge any of his actions at all.
I'm just picturing myself as the meme, but instead of I stand with WWE, it's I stand with MJF. That's me.
Get the little cap, made of Burberry, probably. I did like his Burberry referee shirt last week with the Shawn Michaels bike shorts.
He's a fashion icon.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot.
I appreciate you, Maxwell. Anyway, let's move on.
DJ Khaled, I appreciate you.
Right, in terms of stories, let's have another one.
Yeah, you smart, you loyal, you a genius. Buy your mother a house.
More Khaled on the news.
In one of his videos.
Yes, please.
He's some boy, isn't he? Remember that time he got lost on his jet ski?
Yeah, and decided to put it on Snapchat instead of, calling the authorities.
Instead of, like, he almost died, and he was like, yo, I gotta tell Snapchat about this.
I'm going to ring the authorities, but first time, in terms of Snapchat, I'm going to make another one.
And speaking of DJ Khaled, he's out of Dynamite. What a disaster.
What?
Yeah, he's not going to be on the show. So a couple of AEW wrestlers have interestingly been pulled from Dynamite this week. Now, on the Pape, at Double or Nothing, they announced a 10-man tag.
Yes.
Undisputed Elite. So Adam Cole, Red Dragon, and the Young Bucks against Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and the Hardys. Since then, AEW is now promoting this as an 8-man tag.
Right.
New graphic, been produced. Adam Cole and Jeff Hardy are out of the match. Now, there's no reason has been provided on this. It just kind of happened. They just started promoting it as an 8-man now. So it's the only thing announced for Dynamite so far, by the way, as well. Now, obviously, both men wrestled at Double or Nothing. Cole had the Owen Hart Cup final, beat Samoa Joe, got presented the trophy and his lovely new belt. And Jeff was in a crazy match with the Young Bucks where he took all manner of insane bumps. The part that worried me a little bit during that match was when his boot got loose and he was like inactive for about 5 minutes. Now we should stress there's no indication that he's injured or anything, or that either of them are injured coming out of the pay-per-view, but neither of them are wrestling on Dynamite now. There you go, that's the story.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm intrigued to see what's going on. Well, with both guys, but particularly with Jeff Hardy for the reasons you gave there. Like we were on the stream and we were like, is Jeff taking time out because of his boot, or is he taking an injury and we don't know about it? No word, as to what's happened since then. But regardless, let's focus on the positives here. I've gone very Simon Miller there. The 8-man is going to be bloody tasty. So what's that? Wait a second. So we've got the two losers from the Undisputed Elite, the Young Bucks.
Those dorks.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be the story a little bit, isn't it? Kyle O'Reilly and Je suis Bobby Fish. Christian, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and who's the other one? Matt Hardy.
It's not a bad lineup, is it? I hope we get some cool singles match. I hope we get an Athena match. That'd be cool.
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Roosh. Let's
Push.
have Roosh getting a push.
Roosh and Andrade versus...
No, they're on honeymoon, baby. I've just seen a tweet.
Oh, yeah, of course. Congratulations, Stan.
Yeah.
I don't think we've done that on you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys.
Awesome.
But yes, we'll provide any updates on Dynamite as and when we get it. And don't forget to always listen to the Dynamite Preview podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from. Right, content warning now. As always, we put the timestamps in the description. If you want to skip ahead to the Twitter questions, please go ahead and do that right now, because AEW star Jake Atlas has been arrested on a charge of misdemeanor battery, domestic violence, in Orlando, Florida. The incident occurred on the 22nd and the 23rd of May. An altercation happened at a bar. If you want any more details on that, you can read the report that Andy Murray's written at WhatCulture.com. He was arrested, he was charged, he was then released later on that day, and he is going to be arraigned in an Orange County court on the 28th of June. Not really a lot I want to say around this story.
Yeah, for sure. We're not gonna give details on the incident. But if you want to seek those out, they are on our website. I again advertise with a content warning. Ultimately, in situations like this, I just hope that the people who may have been hurt by the situation are okay, and that's the extent of it.
Exactly. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. First question today comes from a man with a fantastic surname, Michael Hipshire.
Hipshire.
Love that. Michael,
sounds like a medieval lord.
Indeed.
Like
well, you're going to fall out with him now because he says, "Good morning, iconic king of the mic."
Oh, gee whiz. Why
he said the word as well. I'm not even going to do the usual. I'm going to do the iconic.
Michael, you started well, and then you combined the two worst things on earth.
Hey, Michael, you're hip, Shire. With AEW crowning CM Punk... sorry, I've read that completely wrong. With AEW crowning CM Punk, this all but guarantees WWE has to make Cody either Universal or WWE champ, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they kind of...
Sorry, I've just seen the hashtag you put on there.
What on earth?
Oh! That's the hashtag.
Oh, my giant comedy ears that stick way too far at my head. Yeah, I think they kind of... I don't know if there's really a correlation. Like, I don't know if the CM Punk winning the AEW belts speeds up the idea that Cody's going to win the belt, but I think they should give Cody the belt at some point, and I think that they have needed to push the guy extremely strongly from day one, because Cody is their marketing. Cody is the person that they will go to and go, hey, AEW guys, look what we've done with him. We can do this with you. So they need to get it right. They need to give him a strong, concerted push. They need to keep him over. They need to feed him good material. They need to not normalize him and make him a mid-card guy in 6 months.
No.
And it's, that'll open the marketplace up theoretically. So, yeah, I agree. I do think he will be champion at some point. Sounds like maybe Drew's going to dethrone Roman in Wales, maybe?
Yeah, I thought I had the answer to this. I'd have put the WWE Championship, just that one, on Cody at SummerSlam. But that's clearly not the direction they're going to be going in. But yes, I do believe he's going to be world champion, probably before the end of the year, if not by next WrestleMania, basically. And
he's going to face The Rock.
Shout out to Cody, who everyone said, oh, WWE's going to ruin Cody. They're going to change him back to the old guy, and he's just going to be normalised. Well, I think you'll find he broke through the invisible wall last night on Raw. They were in the crowd, and he went, well, what's stopping me? And they had a big brawl. He's the best thing about Monday Night Raw, in my opinion, Cody.
We are only 7 weeks in.
Yes, exactly.
But it's been good
and how many
so
losses
far.
has he had? 0, baby.
0 losses.
Yeah.
Like Penta.
Exactly.
He loses a lot, actually.
John Harrison writes, good morning, you fine specimens.
That's John playing guitar.
At this point, it's all very early on. What is the likelihood of this whole MJF thing, stick with me on this,
don't say it's a work, John,
being a work to set up his next feud with Tony Khan? Have a great day, boys.
It's not Friday, mate. What's this question? 0. But I think you knew it was 0 when you said
Tony Khan's got a lot of energy. I think he could exert in the ring.
Yeah, I think John knew the answer we were going to give you. He's a scamp. Yeah, I think there's 0 chance of it being a work to start a feud with Tony Khan. I think that would be horrendous television, and exactly the kind of thing AEW should stay away from. They don't want to dive into those kind of storylines that people have been hanging over WWE's head for years. They don't want to get into that. They don't want to get into the like things like the Fan Fest. I think if that was a work, that sucks ass, because then you're messing with fans' money. People will pay to see MJF there, and you're screwing with them. That's a bad practice. So while I certainly think the elements of this storyline will, and perhaps already have been, amplified a little bit to generate pro wrestling drama, I do think the core of it is very real.
I agree.
Don't.
But
Don't.
No, let me just. You will agree with me by the end of this sentence, I promise.
Okay.
But don't go anywhere near Austin versus McMahon. Certainly not any in-ring interaction. Certainly not any bloody physical interaction.
You seen
but
Tony do this
Max with a live mic taking a little insider snipe at Tony. Then I'll allow
I'm
it.
okay with that.
There you go.
I like a nudge, like when he did the plane thing. I like a nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah.
But I don't need Tony Khan wrestling or being an on-screen guy
Exactly.
every week.
God,
or
no.
whatever. And I think
Man, when people freaked out when Moxley just walked into a back room and said Tony.
Yeah, and
you didn't see it.
You
I
heard
was
his
like,
voice.
"Oh!"
Yeah, it was like I think Tony's smart enough to avoid that stuff as well.
Yeah, I'd have Max saying it's been just over 9 days since I lost Double or Nothing.
He did his 9 days voice at the press conference when he was coming out. He was like,
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
2 hours. and
AEW
40
Dynamite.
minutes.
AEW Dynamite.
What was that? Dynamite. Is he a soprano?
Ah, yes. I see that you know your booking well. Good one.
Indubitably, I am Tony Khan.
That's right. Final question today
Oh,
comes from Mark Lee Willis, who says, "Morning, lads. Again, put that mic down, Adam, and that jelly." No. I'll get the jelly if you're not careful.
I'm gonna kill the microphone.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly. If you want to know what we're talking about there, check out Michael Hamflett's Twitter, because things got interesting.
You're not ready for that. That should come with a content warning as well, mate. That was horrendous.
Mark says, whilst discovering this gem, and then post the clip of the brilliant ride-along adjacent things that AEW did with the likes of Bryan Danielson shaming Britt Baker for not knowing Mussolini.
The one with Ruby Soho in it is hilarious.
Well, that's what I was getting to. So, Mark asks, what 3 wrestlers would you do your car karaoke with, and what songs would you sing, and why?
Wow. This is really tough.
MJF and Hobbs seems like, and Soho seems like a pretty cool car ride.
That's a cool car ride.
That DMX bit was quality.
The problem with that car ride is that, no shade on MJF, but specifically Soho and Hobbs are so cool, I already feel really lame compared to them, and if I had to sing in front of them, that would be even worse. So I'm going to rule that trio out. MJF would eviscerate you as well if you did a poor job, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
But
well, he has.
Not you, because you're his best mate,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. That's the times we've had.
So I'm going to go with nice people who won't insult me for singing poorly.
Okay.
Ruby probably wouldn't, actually. She seems like quite a nice human being. So Adam Cole is like the nicest guy of all time.
Who's driving, by the way? You driving?
Yeah, I'll probably drive because I could use that as an excuse not to sing
Smart,
much.
very
there
smart.
you go. I'll go with the Butcher because he's a very nice human being as well. He looks like a destroyer.
2 Andys and an Adam.
2 Andys and an Adam. I need another one. Oh, Hangman Page. There you go. 2 Adams, 2 Andys. They're all really nice. I don't know. Andy Williams can probably roar a bit. I'm not too sure what Adam Cole's singing voice is, but I'm sure Hangman can spit out a country tune or two.
I'm doing the scene from Wayne's World. I'm doing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
Me.
Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah, Chris.
Why didn't I think of him?
Yeah, get Chris Jericho in there. Yeah, you need people with long hair.
Yeah. Oh,
Jungle Boy.
Wayne's World. Yeah.
Jungle Boy. And who else should I have in there? Nyla Rose. She seems like a good patter.
Yeah, she's great banter. Get her.
I really want to do that.
Yeah.
We'll sort that next. When we go to, what's the next AEW show apart from Forbidden Door? Because we definitely can't make that. What's the next one? All Out?
All Out.
When we go to All Out, we'll make this happen.
Let's do it. I'm going to go the opposite
We are
way.
manifesting quite a lot on the news nowadays.
I'm going to pick a slightly different car before we
Okay, clown
hold
car.
the video up. Clown car, yeah. Complete opposite direction to you. I'm taking Stokely Hathaway, I'm taking Alan Angels, and I'm taking Christopher Daniels. The bald car.
Right.
The bald wagon.
Right, well, I'm having Jade Cargill. Fine. Brandon Cutler. So he can film it. So
Well,
he can...
he's bald. He's in my car, mate.
Oh, bollocks. We're doing the baddies car. It's me, Jade Cargill, Maxwell, who apparently is a baddie to some people, and who's a big baddie? Who's the big bad? Big bad butcher? No. Big... Luther. Right. There we go.
He's bald as well.
No! God damn it! I'm gonna go with Keith Lee.
All right.
Yeah, I'll have Keith Lee.
There you go. Keith Lee has a hell of a singing voice. Did you
Yeah,
see
you
the
can
clip
do
of
that.
him?
What am I
The
thinking
clip
about
of him at the karaoke thing. Oh boy.
Right, let's move on to
Legend.
today's and finally, and a bit of a crossing of the streams for today's and finally.
I'm sorry.
One of my favourite wrestlers and one of your favourite wrestlers merging. Scotty Too Hotty tweeted, these two ladies tore the house down in the main event at Wrestle Prestige, which I believe is in California.
Ooh, the Roseland shows. So I've got to watch those.
Miyu Yamashita.
Yeah.
And Maki Ito.
Yes.
What a threesome this is!
Yes, Miyu and Maki have tremendous matches every single time. They've had the various interactions in Tokyo Joshi Pro. They're always awesome, and now they're hanging out with the best guy ever. What's going on?
Scotty, when you come to Newcastle, please can we hang out? Because he was there at WrestleMania weekend. Me and Hamlet, I think, went to NXT. And Phil met him, and I'm really happy for Phil. He got a photo with him with the belts. I was so jealous.
Yeah, we'll get him in.
Scotty, come in. I know you're coming to
through.
Newcastle in a month or two. You are more than welcome. Do the news. Come and do the news. Speak to piss.
Do you know what the coolest thing about and this is like an overall point that doesn't really need to be in the video, but the coolest thing about wrestling in this era is that if you have a cool idea in your head, and even if it's like not necessarily a cool idea that you'd immediately think of, there's a really good chance it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So here's Scotty Too Hotty hanging out with two Joshi favorites.
I love it.
It's like who on earth? These talking points are so like they're repeated like every 10 minutes, but who would have thought of that existing 10 years ago?
And Gangrel was on AEW.
Gangrel was on Dynamite, and he got beaten up by those rascal Young Bucks. Poor guy, man.
Damn you. And you know what the good thing about wrestling is? Hey guys, you can like more than one wrestling promotion. Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all today's news stories in the comment section below.
12k likes.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts. Got myself and the Dudley Boys reviewing Monday Night Raw and looking ahead to NXT a little bit later on today.
What was that?
NXT 2.0, I have to say it like that.
Okay.
Plus, you can let us know your thoughts, Twitter questions at WhatCultureWW. Watch there, follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray
at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for habanero.
And it also stands for Hamlet. Check out the video of me versus a jelly from the live stream on Michael Hamlet's Twitter.
I wish it was a jellyfish.
Oh dear. Adam Wilborn for me on Twitter. At WhatCultureWWE for all of us, as I said. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you soon.
Didn't work.
Hey!